I'm starting off fresh and I feel good. I look good. I smells good. I am good.
Good morning, TFR.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Hi, this is Alan. I like Ironworx because it's where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came.
I love Ironworx with Josh, Walt and Zack. It's like sitting in your front room having a cosy chat with your best friends.
Hi, it's Diva here, and I just want you to know that Ironworx with Josh, Walt and Zack, it's definitely my favourite dose of reality. Come join the family and keep it flat.
Why sleep in when you could get your dose of iron in the morning? Listen to the Ironworx on TFR.
This is Enlightened Dawn. Roses are red, violets are blue. Iron Rail Media is the best on the plane. To the show, I will forever be true. You guys are truly the best, and I love you guys. I'm so thankful to have you in my life.
Do you like listening to space letters from Never a Straight Answer? Then tune in to The Ironworx with Zack, Walter, and Josh. Break clear of the fear on the Ironworx and become an Iron Scout.
I'm starting off
Push
fresh.
the
I feel
button,
good.
Josh.
But I was so excited about all the fun stuff I was going to be playing until I realized that I wasn't going to be playing any of it. TGIF, everybody. Welcome to the Ironworx right here on Truth Frequency Radio, TFRlive.com. We're also on Rockfin because Josh has now pushed the button. Morning, fellas. What's up?
I am the button meister. You got to skip the button meister.
Meister button
Good morning.
Meister.
Right. Put one foot in front of the other. That's what he said, right?
That's because we're a couple of misfits. Something.
Guten Tagen. Grand Rising. Fiat Lux. Good evening. Fiat later. Toodle Sun. I don't know how y'all doing everywhere that I can't see you.
Right.
Oh, doing good.
There he is. I saw that dude wake up.
Had a really productive week. It was a good one.
Really?
Yes.
Nice.
6 hours cleaning out the attached shed, I guess you'd call it. It's like a outdoor backyard utility, giant utility closet. We keep the mower in there. Well, it used to be I could just kind of push the mower in and pull it out. Now I could go in there.
The mower. I thought you said the mole. I was picturing a big giant cat that you guys kept in a shed in the back somewhere.
Don't talk about him.
Okay.
But yeah, now I could go in there and do all kinds of stuff. Found power outlets and all kinds of this. Like, we stuck a bunch of stuff in here when we first moved in. And it's been like storage. So it's clean now. Kind of. There's a little corner left. But it looks better. We're getting organized. So you can walk in and got all the tools where they're supposed to be, all the gardening stuff, the hot tub stuff is now it's organized. Amy likes things organized. She said she'll be able to finally breathe when she knows where everything's at. Because the house they had in Denver was huge. And then that house was jam-packed with stuff. And then moving to a smaller house, there's still boxes we haven't seen in years, probably. Yeah, it's crazy. It's just crazy. We're getting there though. One day at a time.
And the crazier part is, it still feels like you guys just went out there.
And I know, right? It's weird. Sometimes plants are all doing really well. Peas are popping like crazy. The tomatoes and peppers, man, lemon verbena. Lemon verbena is awesome.
Yeah, I want some of that growing around my house for the mosquito control.
I trimmed it
Shout
yesterday.
out Nuka Cola hitting the chat. Sorry, I got excited when I saw Nuka. What's up, my brother? Missing you, but damn sure. You can call in or hop in or whatever you might be able to do if you would like. At any point this morning, just say the word. That's if you're still on Skype. If you're not, then we'd have to make tricks happen maybe. But we can make tricks happen. We're a tricky bunch here. Tricky bunch.
Right.
But yeah, man, I'm getting excited about things here plant-wise again, just because I had kind of had an emotional crisis, if you will, with my corn plant that my mom had left when they moved out to Oregon. There were two originally. They were in her house there. Well, her and my sister. And they left them with me because they knew they wouldn't make the trip out there. And they'd had them for years. They were as tall as me. And multiple shoots, lots of leaves everywhere. Easy to lacklusterly care for. Every now and again go, oh, that's right, that thing needs water. And it goes, yeah, but I'm cool because I'm holding on, because it actually enjoys to be a little thirsty is what I read about it. So I was like, yeah, the perfect plant for my forgetful butt. Well, one of them got damaged in one of our moves and died off, and we couldn't save it, and that hurt me a lot. And then Mom passed in 2020, and then my plant had cat attacks in it. It was sitting behind our little couch in like this weird little, almost, I don't know what you'd call it. It's not really a nook. It's not really a couple. It's just a weird area in an old house that has a lot of windows. And so that's a good one. Getting a lot of light, getting a lot of area for it to do its leaves things. And then we got cats who early on as kittens began to use it as a bathroom. And so I got that stopped early enough to keep it from damaging them. But then that was the first mama that did that. And then we got the kittens, and then they got in it, and I couldn't keep ahead of them. And the alkalinity of their destructive, urine and everything else did it in. So I tried to save it. I read up on how to wash and clean, talk to you about it. I remember Zack, and finally it was just done, and I was just, it's gonna go, it's dying, and I was upset. I mean, it was like losing a pet. I was that upset about it because it came from my mom. I'm sure I'm psychotic about some kind of overly crazy attachment to that plant just because of that, but I was. And as I began to go outside, take it out of the pot and all that, I was like, I remember something about cane-type plants and putting them in water, and they'll really root easy. And so I did it with the 3 shoots that were still up top, not getting brown yet. And I put one in a bottle of water, real tall, basic bottle thing, and it stays in the house on top of the thing. And I put one in a huge pot of dirt that was out there already. And then I made a new pot for the other one. And slowly but surely, they've started dying off in the outside, where I think they're getting too much sun after being used to having just the sun in the house, not being out in the big, full outside house that has no limits on light. So one of them had browned out, like it was gone. All the leaves were dead. It was done. And when Haley came and got all her plants out to move to her grandma's house off the back area where we have all the shelves for the plants, she just kind of haphazardly moved that one off to the side under something. I mean, it was dead. It was a stump sticking up. There was nothing left green on it. About 2 or 3 days, I looked out there. 2 or 3 days ago, I looked out there, and it's got like a hand-sized, big old spread of leaves growing out of that big brown dead stump. I'm like, wow, dude, that is incredible. That is, if that's not a sign that life will endure, I don't know what is, because that thing, I knew it was gone. There was no way it had nothing green left to get chlorophyll happening, no life. Nope, that stick said, yeah, let's do this. So I'm pumped. I'm ready to plant or whatever, at least landscapey type stuff. I don't know. Me and food plants don't ever seem to get along, but with a little training from Zack and the rest of you guys that know stuff in chat, I'm sure I can figure it out.
Yeah, there's
We have
some
other
plants
people
that are
here.
pretty hard to
Oh, I'm
kill.
sorry.
I was just saying, there's some plants out there that are real hard to kill, Walter. We'll find you a good one.
Well, this one seems to be the one. Like I said, dude, it's holding on tough, even in spite of what all has happened to it. The one in the house is fine. The one that doesn't get light that sits on top of our entertainment center area. The only thing that's happened to it is Cleo got up there one time, nosing around, and knocked it off. I woke
Now,
up
is that the
to
one that
find
looks
it.
like just giant blades of grass?
Just huge, big leaf, like the top of a corn plant, basically leafed over. Yeah.
That is
So,
like one of the hardest ones to kill.
yeah.
We call
Well,
it a
I'm glad.
mother-in-law's tongue.
Yeah.
But it's
Well, no,
goddamn.
that's a different thing. This is like a big, tall tree. Look, just Google it real quick. Corn plant. Yeah, I had a mother-in-law's tongue. That's just the leaves that come up out of the plant. Yeah, I mean out of the dirt. I know that one well too. I had a few of those that I killed. But but yeah, a corn plant is really like a tree type indoor little, decorative. It's decorative, strictly, they can get lots of little shoots going, and we pop it up on the screen for everybody that's watching us on the radio. There they are. Corn plants.
Corn plant.
Yeah. And see how it shoots off here? Those little shoots. Yeah. It was gone. There was nothing left. There was just barely a little brown stump left, and it was all shriveled up looking. And yeah, it said, "I will survive." I'll take a picture of it and show you guys at some point. But anyway, yeah. But like I said, we have other people here. I'm gonna shot up on the plants.
How's your week, Josh?
It was good.
Josh bailed.
I'm trying to think of anything spectacular that might have happened. It's you know what was unusual this week? I had kind of a couple of crappy days. Not even crappy days, just frustrating days. Usually, I can have something frustrating happen, but it doesn't necessarily define my day. Like, it's very rare that my day is defined in some sort of negative term. Right? The worst my days get are, But I actually had, bad, frustrating days at work. So that was unusual. Strange to process. But other than that, things have been relatively quiet. Not a whole lot going on. Ordered some vinyl decals for the car. I still have that Upside app that'll send me a Amazon gift card every once in a while. Or code, anyway.
Putting flames on it?
No, well, because it's the Kia Sportage, and it's the Nightfall edition with the black wheels and the black badges and stuff. And I went ahead and just kind of leaned into it and tinted the windows a little bit darker. And so I just decided to get a couple of little decals and make it a Flat Earth edition. So I'm going to, put, because there's not really any other badges other than Sportage and Kia. There's not a trim package. There's not an S on there, because that's the trim package. There's not an LX or anything else that tells you what sort of trim package it is. So I've got plenty of real estate on the back car and on the fender wells where I can just slap a couple of Flat Earth edition decals on the side. But that's about as far as that goes. It really has been just kind of super quiet, super laid back, super nothing, really.
Well, in Indiana, I always spent the $25. I'd give money to the FOP, Fraternal Order of Police, and they'd send me a sticker. Put on the back of my window. That sticker is worth its weight in gold. Just saying.
we'd get the solicitors and the call banks that would call around asking to donate to the firefighters fund or to the policeman's fund or whatever it was, and they send you a little decal. And if you really, really want to signal your virtue, you can try to collect year after year to try to show the police just how dedicated.
My buddy had like 12 of them.
Yep.
Well, that one is decent. It works pretty decently. But I found out about a little secret sticker that I had no clue about, because we were having some car trouble and borrowed a friend's car during this period. And we were always running late taking the kids up to the school, which was way out on the back road, the charter school I've told you all about, and hauling butt usually try to get out there. And dude, I can't tell you the number of times. Pass a cop, lights go on, turned around, would get up behind me and the lights would go off. And I'd be like, what the fuck? And I'd get them to school and just be thanking everybody above. And that happened about 6 times before he told me. And it was actually Damascus. That's who it was. Because remember he told us for a brief time there he was a sheriff's deputy or whatever. That's what it was. He had this little tiny sticker. It was a black sticker with a little blue line in it. And every time they would get behind us, they would turn off their lights and leave. I was blown away. So yeah, you know somebody can get you that sticker. That's
those stickers are pretty amazing, dude. My buddy, he got away with a lot. Having his whole back, like bottom row of his truck was just FOP, FOP, FOP year, all the different years. And yeah, he drove around very inebriated, and it was well known. But it was crazy. It was just different times back then, I gotta say. But yeah, he had like 12 of them. His dad had started it, and he just kept doing it for like 3 or 4 years. But they'll get you out of a jam, yeah. Cops tend to be a little bit nicer to you when they see that little sticker in your back window. Ugh. Excuse me. Still waking up, folks. I'm sorry. I've been getting up early all week. Going to bed early. I think the other night, what was that, Wednesday night? I crashed at like 8:30. I laid down. Like, I wonder if I beat Josh to sleep. I bet I did.
There's a chance. There's a chance.
So did this work? Oh, it did. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, and I'm not muted. Well, since I'm not muted, hello there. We have been joined, it looks like. I hope it worked.
Sweet.
Come in. Come in from across the plane. Come in.
Hello, hello, hello.
There he is. What is up, my brother?
Been a long time, guys. Been a very, very long time. How is everyone?
Too long.
Doing
we're
all
great,
right,
man. Now that we hear you in the call.
How have you been? That's a question.
I've been great. I've just been listening for a little bit, sorting my life out, have to grow up, that kind of thing. But other than that, I'm doing great.
Oh.
So
glad. Do you have any tips and pointers? I've really been looking into it, and it sounds like something I might want to try.
Well, Zack talked about that making list thing the other day, and I was thinking, it is about time I start growing up. So, yeah, I'm down. Talk to us, Nuka. What is the plan? How do you do it?
Experience. You just have to go through life and suck at it until you don't suck at it.
Yeah, never mind.
Oh, well, I got that nailed.
I'm not doing that.
Sucking at it. It's the nailing it part that seems to be a bit elusive.
Yo, fellas, can I
man,
share
I'm
the
glad to
screen?
hear that for you.
What did you ask, Nuka?
Can I share the screen, please?
Oh, absolutely. It's not going to do much for our
You
radio
certainly,
listeners, but
you certainly can. We are on the radio, but you definitely can show the people who are watching us on YouTube and Rockfin and other various platforms as well that you have something there, sir. And we'll do our best to describe it accurately for those of you who are Now, is it an audio video thing? If it is, did you share audio as well? There's a button you have to click on the way through there to get that to happen.
It's an audio and
all right, well
video.
then unshare, like over there where it says stop share, and when you click share again, you'll see a click right above there for share audio as well.
Yes, I must stop sharing.
Yes, I think you'll have to stop and restart, and then it's on the restart. You'll have to make
Yeah,
sure.
you'll see an option to share audio as well. Now you are on a phone though, most likely. I just remembered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that may be a whole. Zach, you need to come in on this one. You're the phone Skype guy.
Yeah, audio. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I don't think there is a button for the audio.
There's not a button for it. Well, then just wing it, and we hope it works.
Yeah, we'll see.
If not, you could send it to me on Skype, and I'll play it for you, my friend. Yeah, we're not hearing the audio on our end. So if you throw it on my, just drop it right there on the same Ironworx call that you're in with that chat right there, just that link, and I will. I'll play it for everybody.
I'll send it to you.
I take it this must be some goings on there in your area.
Yeah, between the States and my country.
Well, I know the last time, we've talked to you since then, but I know it had gotten pretty volatile there in your region for a bit. And I mean, like, pretty crazy stuff was going on, man. We were really concerned for you and your family. So, has that calmed down a bit?
Yeah, there were looting. I remember it was looting. There were road closures. Basically, all the communities just banded together, and they weren't allowing anyone in or out, which caused a bunch of other issues because they wanted to protect their communities, but you also can't restrict the right to move around. You can't restrict somebody's freedom to move wherever they want to. But communities were not allowing people that they didn't know because of the looting, because of quote unquote, the spies, because they would enter the communities and see the shops or the malls or, basically anywhere there would be things of value. And then they would call the other people, and then they would infiltrate the community and start looting. But I mean, all of that has calmed down drastically. It stopped. Some places never got fixed. Some people lost their jobs permanently, like in certain malls, especially in the rural areas or the townships. The big companies decided that they were not going to reopen the shops because it was the same communities that raided the mall, and the people lost their jobs. All the people that worked at those malls are unemployed now.
Which country are you in?
South Africa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, guys, but all of that has died down completely. We just had some floods recently, but mostly just damage to infrastructure, not so much loss of life. But everything else is, as good as it can be. I mean, no country's perfect.
I mean, hey, we're having that problem here in the United States. Chicago just closed 4 Walmarts because of looting and things like that. It looked like a war just took place in the Walmart. Like nothing was on the shelves. Everything was on the floor or just taken. But there was like nothing. This girl was walking around like, I come here to try to buy food from, my children. And she's like, this is insane, people. This is just crazy. But we're having those same issues here. There's looting and rioting going on in quite a few major cities. And it's real hush-hush.
Well, of course it is. I'm going to play this for you guys real quick. You'll be able to hear it if you're listening on the radio, and then if you're watching this, here you go.
The arming of Russia by South Africa with the vessel that landed in Simonstown is fundamentally unacceptable. We are confident that weapons were loaded onto that vessel, and I would bet my life on the accuracy of that assertion.
Ambassador Brigadier has made a bold statement against the South African government. He says Washington, D.C. is not trying to change South Africa's non-aligned stance on Russia-Ukraine conflict, but they want Pretoria to stick to its neutral position.
Our officials reiterated our respect for South Africa's policy of neutrality and non-alignment in international affairs. And yet they noted a series of issues which suggest that in practice, the government of South Africa is in fact not aligned. Amongst the things that we noted were the docking of the Russian cargo ship Lady R in Simonstown between December 6th and December 8th, 2022, which we are confident uploaded weapons, ammunition onto that vessel in Simonstown as it made its way back to Russia.
Responding to questions in the National Assembly, President Cyril Ramaphosa was also asked about this matter.
We are all aware of the news that we all became aware of the Lady R, and that whole matter, Honorable Steenhuisen.
Holy cow. I did not expect us to hit a break that early.
I didn't either. I guess I should have looked at that a little more carefully.
Anyway, stick around. We got the rest of these crazy
We'll
accusations.
continue.
Right up on the other side of this break, Ironworx TFR. We'll be right back.
In a single minute, your body produces 120 to 180 million red blood cells. People ask Google 2.4 million questions, and 25 million Coca-Cola products are consumed. Many of those bottles will end up in a landfill where the World Bank estimates we produce 5 million pounds of garbage. 108 human lives will be lost in this minute, and an adult male will lose 96 million cells. Fortunately, 96 million cells divide, replacing those lost. Speaking of divisions, in the USA, 1.5 people get divorced, while worldwide, 116 people will get married, 83,300 people have sex, but only 258 babies will be born. And a fetus is developing neurons at a rate of 250,000 per minute, so it's no wonder that a computer simulation takes 60 quadrillion bytes to simulate a minute. An average of 1.38 micrometers of rain fall around the world, which is 4.7 billion bathtubs of water every minute. And with the storms comes approximately 6,000 bolts of cloud-to-ground lightning hitting the Earth. A 150-pound person expends 1.1 calories of energy per minute while sleeping, while the sun provides us with 83.33 terawatts of energy. The Earth will complete 1,800 kilometers of its 940 million around the sun, moving 1,034 times faster than a cheetah. 70,000 hours of Netflix are watched, 300 hours are uploaded to YouTube, and you can watch this video and subscribe.
Extendivite, a 7-herb combination made from garlic, cayenne, hawthorn, bilberry, ginkgo biloba, valerian, and milk thistle. Extendivite feeds our body with the right nutrients to keep us healthy. Just listen to what Arthur has to say.
I was just calling to tell you what a great product you have. I had used this about, 10 years ago after I had congestive heart failure. And it fixed me up and got me going for the last 10 years. Lately, I've been having heart trouble again, so I placed another order because this was the only thing that ever worked. And I just wanted to let you know that you have a great product.
To order, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822 or visit heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
Hi, I'm Sergeant Jim Ram, retired. In early 2012, I was facing a laundry list of chronic health conditions that my physician was telling me were incurable. I knew there had to be a better way, and I learned how I could reverse every one of my ailments with science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition. In just a few months, I was able to reverse high blood pressure, gastric reflux, sleep apnea, arthritis, degenerative disc disease, heart arrhythmia, AFib, and many more. And I've lost over 70 pounds and kept it off. Now I'm hosting a radio program that's dedicated to helping my listeners do the same. If you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, if you're sick of being used as an ATM by your doctor, then you'll want to tune into the Your DIY Health radio program here on Truth Frequency Radio every Thursday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern and 6 to 8 a.m. Pacific.
No hate, no hype, no fear. We are TFR. Frequency Radio.
Yeah, pitter patter, let's get at her. That's what that was. Anyway, welcome back to the Ironworks. We have the second half of the first half kicking off right now. We are joined this morning by, well, we got a full house here, but we're starting off with our good friend Unkulaleko Duma, coming to us live and direct from South Africa. What's up, Duma? How you doing?
I'm doing great, guys. Look, you don't have to play the rest of the video. That was the gist of it, because I woke up to this stuff this morning, and people were talking around work about.
Oh, so that's hot off the press. We'll appreciate that.
Yeah, it just happened. I think last night they made that statement, and people were asking my opinion on the whole thing, and I just thought, the U.S. needs to mind their own bloody business. It's got nothing to do with them. They are running their embassy. Why are they spying on our naval bases and seeing if we're loading ammunition to anyone? I mean, they are completely ignored that near Easter, China and Russia were here with their naval boats, and they were doing joint exercises, shooting off rockets. You would think that would be the opportune time for even China to give Russia or us to give Russia ammunition, but they completely ignored that and brought up something from last year in December, because we have this AGOA thing coming up, which is basically this pact we have with the US when it comes to trade. We basically don't pay tax when we're trading for things that fall under this pact. And now every year it comes up for renegotiation, or if they're going to continue with it. And they're just using this now as an excuse to not honor the agreement and obviously change. They and basically give the benefits to another country that would be more aligned to what the US wants.
That's crazy, man. And they're in not just South Africa, but the whole continent of Africa. The values there are very different than here in the United States. I've been seeing people talk to a lot of the African presidents and stuff like that, and they're, a lot with this whole transgender issue and stuff, and they just flat out say no. No, we're not.
Look, South Africa is very westernized. We are the most progressive country in Africa when it comes to human rights and that kind of thing. So transgender people are here in South Africa, and if you live in South Africa, they move here. And they were talking now about doing what I think some of the states in the US do, where they have gender neutral bathrooms. So they're thinking of putting that kind of stuff in our schools, and everybody's just saying no to it. But yeah, we are very progressive when it comes to that kind of thing. But we also tend to not fall in line with what basically the US wants. Because I remember when Gaddafi had a arrest warrant by the International Criminal Court, which Vladimir Putin also has, and he's coming in June, this country, and we're obviously not going to bloody arrest him. But I remember Gaddafi was the same thing. He had an outstanding warrant, and he came to our country to speak to our president. And the story goes, it was a big thing. The story goes that somebody high up in government, probably intelligence, informed him or the people that worked for him that the US were after him, and they were going to fly by in the space in Pretoria. And he quickly left. He canceled his meetings. He was supposed to be here for a week, and I think he only stayed 2 days. And then he fled back to his country. And South Africa as a country was criticized for not honoring the warrants, even though we are a signet part of the International Criminal Court.
Wow. Yeah, I know. I mean, It's wild how it all works. It's like the westernized countries. Oh, I don't know. Is George Bush allowed to travel, or Tony Blair? Are they allowed to go to South Africa and travel freely there?
Yeah, when you're speaking about war crimes, those are the top dogs, but the International Criminal Court doesn't um, make them answer for their crimes against humanity, but they'll make everybody else answer for it. And
Yeah, it's
I think it's
crazy,
that,
isn't it? It's just
yeah, it's that hypocrisy that annoys people and angers people when it comes to the US. I mean, the youth in this country love the US and their culture and their music and so on. But as much as they love the US, it's those kinds of things that make the youth in this country also not like the US when they start meddling in other people's business. I mean, if we gave Russia, first of all, we don't have any weapons. We can barely keep the lights on in our country. We're having electricity problems. Where the hell are we even going to get these weapons? But that's besides the point. It's that they're spying on our naval bases. What would they say if we went to America and started spying on their military assets and reporting back to our country and reporting to the world what they're doing? It's insane.
Well, I mean, if you were to fly a spy balloon, I don't think much would happen. We'd wait a few days, let it go wherever the F it wanted to, and then eventually we might shut it down.
But that's the news from my country. What are you guys up to in your countries?
it's like a one event after another. They're becoming so commonplace now. We're just like over flooded with emotional, they're trying to emotionally damage. I don't know what the goal is, but it's almost like they're trying to get people used to this so much that it's just the norm, just chaos and crazy, so nobody can think clearly. I know the older people like my mom, she doesn't even like watching the news anymore. And she used to live on the news. Like 24/7, she'd have CNN going. Now she doesn't even like watching it. She said she's been reading 4 hours a day now. And I say good. That's better than sitting there, driving yourself crazy watching the show that they're putting on for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just it's getting crazier. It really is. But it doesn't really seem like it. It's like we're to that boiling point where we're the frog in the water, and it's already boiling, but it's still getting hotter somehow. It's crazy. At least that's my 2 cents on what's going on as far as in the news and stuff like that. It seems like they're really they're going all out, keep people distracted.
Yeah, I read on the news. Well, it doesn't matter if the news tells the truth or not. There's some semblance of truth. But I read on the news in the States there was another shooting in Texas. Some guy drove a truck or something like that.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
every other
something.
day now. Some nut job is shooting up something or something
For
like
2
that.
years, the bullets were scared of the Rona, but after this passed, then they popped back out, apparently.
So they're still trying to take your guns away.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Yep.
And everybody avoids the elephant in the room that, mental health in this country has declined dramatically. And it seems like there's no want or desire to even look in that direction. Now, we've closed down most of the state-run mental institutions. Like, most of them are just gone. Just close it down. These people are now out on the street doing whatever. It's insanity. It really is. I don't. Yeah, I don't know. We have a really bad homeless problem in a lot of major cities, and they're passing laws to where now in the state of Illinois, where Chicago is, you can kidnap a child. You can, commit armed robbery. You could rob a bank with a gun. You can kidnap a child. You can commit second-degree murder and be out with no bail that day.
But how does that even work?
Yeah, exactly. I don't get it. It's like if someone is squatting on your property in Illinois, the police cannot come and remove them. They can give them a ticket. It's up to you to remove these people and how much force you think you should use.
And what if you want to shoot them?
Yeah, well, it's kind of up to you. And then you face, I don't know, second-degree murder. You don't even spend a day in jail. No. It's crazy in some places that they're making the laws for lawlessness.
Yeah, speaking of laws and all that kind of stuff, and when it comes to Africa, you guys have all, I'm going to be as kind as I can when I say this because I know it's on YouTube at the moment. So there's been the whole Agenda, 2020, Agenda 21, all that kind of stuff.
Uh-huh.
Well, have you guys heard of Agenda 2063?
Yeah, that's a new one to me. I've heard of 2030, 2021.
2030. Yeah, that's as far as I read.
All right. Well, Agenda 2063 is it's a set of initiatives proposed and currently under implementation of the African Union. That's just off Wikipedia. But if you go into other websites, it says that Agenda 2063 is the blueprint and master plan for transforming Africa into the global powerhouse of the future. It is the strategic framework for delivering on Africa's goal for inclusive and sustainable development and is a concrete manifestation of the Pan-African drive for unity, self-determination, freedom, progress, and collective. And then it goes on from there, which is kind of odd because I thought that's what Gaddafi was actually doing, and then they killed him.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is off of the UN website.
I'm reading on it. I'm reading about it now. Agenda 2063, a promising trajectory for Africa, is their main headline for it.
As determined by the rest of the world.
Yes, as long as we don't cross the wrong people.
Yes, we've decided that this is how you're going to be self-determinate.
Okay, this is a question because you live in South Africa. I know I could probably just look it up real quick, but why is Africa the only country that has 3 capital cities? What's up with that?
You mean South Africa? Well, we have 3
South Africa,
capital cities. Yeah, well, they all cover different aspects. Like in Bloemfontein, that's the judiciary part of it. I'll look it up for you quickly. I remember this thing gets explained to you when you're in high school. Capital cities. I just remember Bloemfontein because I studied law. And they hopped on about that one because it affected us the most. Okay, yeah, Pretoria is the administrative capital. Cape Town is the legislative capital, and Bloemfontein is the judicial capital.
Wow, so your 3 branches of government each hold their own city.
Which is a little awkward because Cape Town, for example, is the best run city in, I think, all of Africa. Everything there works. It's relatively safe compared to all the other cities in South Africa. But the awkward part of it is that it's run by another political party. So the rest of South Africa is run by the African National Congress, which is the ANC, and the Western Cape, and which Cape Town is the capital city of the Western Cape, is run by the Democratic Alliance, which is the DA. And obviously that's the main opposition to the ANC. And what you find is the DA is very pro USA, pro Iran. They get some of their funding from the US and stakeholders in the US and Iran. And they were the main people complaining about this little press run done by the US embassy about this Russian ship that was here in December. They were the main opposition saying we need to inquire about this because I'm assuming that the handlers, if you will, are making them apply the pressure on the ruling government of the rest of South Africa.
Okay, so you just said that the United States is actively giving political parties in South Africa money?
Yeah, look,
how much?
All companies. Oh, well, they won't reveal that, but there was a big drive last year where political parties had to reveal who was funding them. Not necessarily how much, but where they are getting their money. And what you found is basically all the big companies are funding all of them. You know, just in case whoever wins, they've got some influence over them. But in particular, the DA was getting a lot of money from companies that are linked to people in government in the US, like Halliburton, for example. They were getting some funding from them, whilst Halliburton wasn't funding everybody else, but they were funding just the DA. And it was just a certain few United States and Iran-linked companies that were funding just that political party, but nobody else. When in general, the big companies just funded everybody just in case somebody else wins, they still have some influence.
Yeah, that seems pretty par for the course. I just, got to cover all your bases. Hedge your bets.
Yeah.
Just kind of crazy, the difference 30 years makes.
What was the lockdown situation with all the jibby jabs like over there where we're at?
Yeah, look, with the lockdown, we had basically the government giving people free money. And a lot of people were covered by the government. So if you were working a normal job that required you to be at the office, for example, and obviously lockdown happened and you couldn't be there, the government paid for it. Whatever you were earning, your company just needed to report to the government and the government would pay your salary. And where they got this money from, I will never know. But they announced it that they had 500 billion rands, which is a lot in my country. And they were helping everyone with that kind of thing. But you also had companies that were, we call, I don't know if it's the same in America, but companies petition the state or the government for tenders. So say I want to build a bridge. Say the government wants to build a bridge across this river to get kids from point A to point B so they can go to school. So companies will put together a tender proposal, if you will, and give it to the government, and the government will judge which one is the best and give them the money, then they build the bridge. So with lockdown happening, the big thing was the PEE scandals, where the people providing the mask and the sanitary equipment and stuff, they were putting tenders to the government to be the ones to provide that. But you had companies that were only about 6 to 8 months old that had never been granted a tender before and had never existed before and had never done anything before. But the director of those companies were people high up in our government, and they got the tenders. They were getting things like 150 million. How do you award 150 million to a company that didn't exist 6 to 8 months ago, and you're tasking them to do something so integral and important, which also, kind of spoke volumes to me, because they created these companies before COVID came, like they knew. And some of them were just for that kind of thing, providing PPE equipment. So how did they know that this was coming and had the foresight to create these companies just for that, and had tenders already available with their distribution, how they were going to get all of the stuff out to the people? And then they would just apply for the tender, and then the tenders got granted over companies who had been doing this for decades.
So this has been planned for quite some time.
Yeah, well, I think it's every country in this world is just corrupt. We just have to deal with it.
Yeah, it's not just you guys. I mean, to get away from this, you almost have to, live off grid, live off the land, to not be affected by. I mean, it's a world cabal. However you want to look at it, it seems like all the people at the top, yeah, they argue when they're on TV and in the big rooms that are, made out of wood, nicely polished wood, and all their, dressed real nice. They're all arguing there. But then when they go to their little dinners and stuff, they're all laughing and joking and having a grand old time. And I mean,
I'm sure they are.
Yeah, they make it so obvious now, but people don't see it. I was talking, Cammy's brother's here. He's been here all week. And I'm just explaining to him my favorite quote by anyone is Plato. And they've been doing this for a long time, a very, very long time. And there have always been people that have been able to see through their bullshit. But, like, who was it? The guy who made the propaganda book. Edward Bernays.
Yes.
If you say the lie big enough and you repeat it, people will believe it. Well, that's what they're doing. And those who can see through the lies, are never going to be understood. And the quote, it goes, "Those able to see beyond the shadows and lies of their culture will never be understood, let alone believed by the masses." And yeah, I mean, Plato's onto something there. He knew human psyche, if Plato was even real. But yeah, they know that they don't need to fool everybody. It was Abe Lincoln who said, well, you can't fool all the people all the time. Can't. And yeah, that's why we do what we do. We're just here. I mean, if we wake up one person a week, I consider that winning. Even though there's thousands and upon thousands of people born every week, just waking up one person, that person can wake up two people. And then, I mean, we are, I don't want to say winning, but we are definitely advancing.
The other side of that, though, is it's a pretty lonely existence when so many people don't even have an inkling of what's happening in the world.
It is frustrating at times. You just can't let it get you down, man. You just got to remember the people that you have met that are more aware, and people that have, changed, that since you've talked to them, or since you've met them, or since you've come watch some crazy shit we might have said, or whatever. I mean, think about this. The app is at 100,000 people. 100,000 people is crazy. That's crazy.
And that's people willing to say, hey, I'm a flat earther. Look at me. That's not even mentioning the people that have the app, but still are a little bit nervous to be a blue dot.
I actually have something to add to that, but when we come back from the break, I suppose it's coming up.
Oh, yeah, because it is coming up very quickly, folks.
It is. We actually should be hearing break music right now.
Coming up after the break, We'll be discussing DMT. Stay tuned.
Yeah, but Zach, what you were just saying about, if you tell a big lie enough, it becomes the truth. I do believe that there are several people throughout history that said that. I think Napoleon was one of them, Adolf Hitler, Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, probably George Bush, and they've all said it.
Yeah, they all know it. Weapons of mass destruction, right? What's going on? Are we not breaking?
I don't hear anything. I figured we were going to talk right up to the commercial. I'm just going to let the commercial cut you all off, but I still don't hear that commercial.
Okay, let's talk about happier things, guys. Who has done DMT?
I've done DMT.
There
we go.
Is iHeartRadio. iHeartRadio makes you want to move. When you have a great melody, a song lasts forever.
Instantly connected.
I love it when the beat goes.
Did you know you can listen to Truth Frequency Radio on iHeartRadio? Just download the app to your smart car, smartphone, or smart TV and get the best of TFR wherever you are.
iHeartRadio.
I'll see you there.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7, with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
This is about why I say what I say, do what I do. Expression goes, the proof of the pudding's in the eating. We'll find out. We'll find out. Been a long day for y'all. I just finished the last meeting. I made it clear to President Putin. I told him, corn pop was a bad dude. Bottom line is, I told President Putin, I got hairy legs. After 2 hours there, we looked at each other like, okay. What next? You've heard me say this before again and again. I'm going to keep saying it. Come on, man. I made it clear. Well, I tell you what, I'm following the rules, man.
Come on,
This is
man.
about why I say what I say, do what I do. I did what I came to do. We'll find out. We'll find out. This is about why I say what I say, do what I do. Expression goes, the proof of the pudding's in the eating. We'll find out. We'll find out. Biden said he'd invade Russia. That was a joke. This is not a kumbaya moment. Let's hug and love each other. Folks, look, I caught part of President Putin's press conference. I told him, come on, man. I'm going to keep saying it. Come on, man. And so it was kind of after well, anyway. This is about why I say what I say, do what I do. I did what I came to do. We'll find out. We'll find out. This is about why I say what I say, do what I do. Expression goes, the proof of the pudding's in the eating. We'll find out.
Я думаю, что для всех очевидным является тот факт, что президент Байден, когда конкретно там завтра, послезавтра, это вопрос коллеги на рабочем уровне определяться с составом этих делегаций. Не было никакой враждебности, наоборот, наша встреча происходила. Я думаю, ничего сложного не скажу. Это будет понятно, Торговые отношения, да, еще говорили о сотрудничестве в Арктике.
This is about why I say what I say, do what I do. I did what I came to do. We'll find out. Come on, man.
This is the Truth Frequency Radio Network. TFR.
Truth Frequency Radio.
Good morning. I'm here. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up! Wake up!
What is dark matter?
Okay, we don't know.
That's great. That's why it's called dark.
It's exactly.
Everyone knows all reputable information comes from random people on the internet. Tell me things, internet. The earth is flat. It's like school in your hand.
Okay, dark matter is something we do not know what it is. We believe the dark matter is there, but we have never detected it. Well, what I'm afraid of course, is that there is no dark matter out there. There was one? There is no dark matter out there. We need to think really hard.
Hi, this is Alan. I like Ironworx because it's where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came.
I love Ironworx with Josh, Walt and Zack. It's like sitting in your front room having a cosy chat with your best friends.
Hi, it's Diva here, and I just want you to know that Ironworx with Josh, Walt and Zack, it's definitely my favourite dose of reality. Come join the family and keep it flat.
Why sleep in when you could get your dose of iron in the morning? Listen to the Ironworx on TFR.
This isn't Leighton Dawn. Roses are red, violets are blue. Iron Realm Media is the best on the plane. To the show, I will forever be true. You guys are truly the best, and I love you guys. I'm so thankful to have you in my life.
Do you like listening to space letters from Never a Straight Answer? Then tune in to The Ironworx with Zack, Walter, and Josh. Break clear of the fear on the Ironworx and become an Iron Scout.
Ladies and gentlemen, Alex Jones here. You're listening to Iron Realm Media. I listen all the time, and it's the best truth show out there. Forget about the mainstream lying. Get your weekly dose of iron. Realm, that is. Stay woke, folks.
And welcome back to the first half of the second half of the Ironworx right here, right now. We are joined by our good friend Ukuleleko Duma from South Africa, and Andrew B. as well.
I've done DMT.
Hitler's done the DMT.
Wow.
Stalin's done the DMT.
And
Have
what
you
was
done-
your experience doing DMT?
Oh, amazing. Very,
Zack got stuck in a time loop.
yeah, the second time I did it was kind of insane. The first time was homemade, made by a friend. And then that was pretty awesome. A lot of the closing your eyes, and you know that noise you hear where they take the frequency and they make it go up and down at the same time, and it just sounds like it's never ending, like and it'll sound like it's just keeps doing that. It's really weird. That happened to me. But the second time, oh man, like I got stuck hearing the same, like, I don't know, 5-10 seconds, and I heard it 4 times in a row. It freaked me out. I thought I was stuck.
How did you do it? Did you do it like ayahuasca style? Did you? And correct me if I'm wrong. I think peyote also has DMT in it, or something like that.
It might have some of the similar chemicals in it, but I know it's different. Peyote is pretty much fungi that grows on horse manure. Something like that. And then DMT, ayahuasca is an actual plant that they extract it from. So I believe one's more of a fungi, the other one's more of a plant base. But yeah, I got stuck in like a weird loop to where I heard the person I was sitting there with, I heard them say something, then I heard something on the television. Never have the television running when you're doing this stuff, folks. Just don't. Then I heard the television say something, and then I heard my buddy repeat that thing, and then I heard the television repeat it, and that happened like 4 times. Like on the 3rd time, I started freaking out. Like, oh shit, am I stuck here? What's going on? And then I started finally coming out of it, and I started to go to that other place, but I was being blocked by something. It was weird, and then I started coming to, but it lasted a lot longer. The pharmaceutical grade, like it was an intense psychedelic trip for like 40 minutes, where about 10 of it was beyond a psychedelic trip. It was unlike anything I'd ever done before.
Yeah, I think the older we get, though, it's harder to do those kind of psychedelics, because I did a side job for a friend, and his neighbor was just kind of chatting with us for a little while, and he came out and we started talking about like psychedelics, and he said, "Oh yeah, I've got some mushrooms right now. You want some?" And I was like, "Oh shit, I haven't done mushrooms in a long time." So he gave me like one big cap, which was probably 1.5 grams. And I ate that 2 weeks ago, and fuck, dude. I found out the Earth is actually a sphere from eating that stuff. Everything was fucking spherical.
That'll do it.
Yeah, that second time, like everything did get rounded edges, like really we're like cartoonish. I can't explain it. It's hard to explain what happened to, like when I opened my eyes and tried to be in reality, it didn't work. Like everything besides the guy that was sitting next to me, he looked somewhat normal, but like the couch, and there was a blanket laying along the top ridge of the couch, that like turned into an orange cloud and then like did a 180 while I was watching it. And I closed my eyes like right away after that. I was like, okay, never mind. I'm going to close my eyes again. Yeah, reality wasn't working.
I know what you're talking about. Like, don't close your eyes because it'll get worse.
Yeah, I didn't know what to do. It was like, okay, open my eyes. Nope. Oh, close my eyes. Nope. Oh, shit. And then I got in that loop, and yeah. But yeah, if you're going to try DMT, make sure you're in a very calm, quiet setting. Maybe have a candle or something like that going. But I would recommend being in somewhat of a darker room, not real bright and vibrant. The colors, the contrast in colors really messed with me a lot. Like they were
It's all
so
about
vibrant.
the mindset and the setting you're in. Mindset and the setting you're in. Set and setting. That was always our mantra. It's been years for me as well. But definitely. And I've never done the DMT. Mine has only been the psilocybin or the lysergic variations thereof. Some actual MDMA, sorry. Yeah. As well, but that's been about the extent, and that's been quite a while. And I'm like probably thinking it would be a thing I would probably think heavily on because of my years and just, it's been a while. So I have to agree, Andrew. Yeah.
Yeah, I was watching a video a long time ago, and it was all about psychedelics. What's the chick's name that Stevie Nicks or Stevie Ricks from Jefferson Airplane? The lead singer?
Very slick.
Okay, yeah. She was talking about, because she's like 78 or 80 by now, and some people were asking her what she misses most about the psychedelics, which one she misses the most, and she said acid. But she said she misses it because she can't do it anymore. It'll just drive her fucking crazy. So they're fun to experience at young ages, but the older you get, it'll fuck with you a lot.
There's something to that.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. Maybe it's wisdom. But just the idea of the psychedelics and, tinkering around up there at my age just seems a little risky. And it's one thing when you're 18. It's another thing when you're fucking 45.
Yeah. So I wanted to share a little something here. I don't want to speak for Mr. Weiss, but I will say this. he told me that his hot sauce is really good, and I know he's spouted that quite a bit. His hot sauce is not really that good. It's actually fucking amazing. I almost drank the entire bottle. Yeah, it's really, really good. And it's actually called Blue Dot Sauce.
That's awesome.
Yeah, with Dave on the bottle. So he's not, yeah, it is really, really good. And
He needs to find a way to make it blue.
Well, it's a very high quality sauce. I'll tell you that. And I make my own hot sauce as well, but he makes a better hot sauce than I do. And it's a little bit hotter than Tabasco, but it's got so much more flavor. So I was privileged to earn some of his bottles of hot sauce, and he also sent me some stickers, some of the Blue Dot stickers with the QR code on it, and I put that right on my front door. I stuck it right to my front door. So every single person that shows up
knows a Blue Dot lives here.
Yep.
That's awesome.
And he also sent me some business cards. He actually sent me like quite a few, like 50 or 60 of them. So what I'm going to start doing is taking the business cards and Dave, I mean, come on and tell me not to do this if you don't want me to. But what I'm going to do is when I go to the grocery store or 7-Eleven or the gas station, I'm just going to like take one of them out and just kind of put it on top of like a can of dog food or something. And just leave it there. Someone's going to find it.
Oh, yeah.
And just start putting them in, these different places. I'm not going to drop them in people's mailboxes. I'm not going to do that kind of stuff. But
dude, you should have seen, I think it was Dallas conference. You couldn't walk like 30 feet without finding a flat earth something somewhere. Even in like the elevator, Dave put this voice box that was just playing, I forget what it was playing, but it was like nonstop playing flat. You get into the elevator, you start hearing a voice like, what? And then you listen and it's a flat earth interview or a conversation going on. It was hilarious, dude. I'm sure Dave's all about you putting those wherever it is, legal to be putting them. But I'm sure he loves that.
Speaking of hot sauce, guys, what's the new hot news on Flat Earth? Any new theories out there?
it's still flat.
Yeah, I mean, there's been, people have ideas about more land, and have you seen the moon map idea? There's been a few new ideas tossed out there. Still, it's all speculation.
Wait, you glanced over the moon map too quickly for me. So do you remember any of the moon map stuff that came out about 5 years ago, maybe, Nuka?
Refresh my memory.
So there were some channels that seemed to come up with an area of the moon that, when looked at really closely, seemed to resemble what we take as the AE projection of the Earth map, basically a flat Earth map. Now, there were also a lot of unaccounted for areas, a lot of areas that didn't fit that, and that was early. There was a channel called Jones Sanage. Then a bit later, and I can't remember, I went back looking actually after I've said this a few times because I wanted to give credit where it's due, and I still haven't found it because, of course, it's probably been wiped. But someone had gone in with a similar idea of the moon being the reflection of the Earth and that map being there in a section of the moon. And they took airports that they could verify the, distances from on a map and put those on that moon projection, and they worked pretty damn good. And that was when it really started making me kind of go, okay, well, maybe there is more to this than we're thinking. And then it kind of went on the side, and life goes on, and I didn't really dig too much deeper. Well, recently, a gentleman who has a channel called Better Known As Wrong Thing. Yeah, there we go. Whew, took a minute. I'll send you the link. Has gone in and not only looked at this in great depth, but he's also accounted for relief maps of the Earth that show underwater ridges vast island stretches that read very differently than you think they would on a map and a relief map, and compared that to some areas on the moon. And it's pretty mind-blowing. He's got like an 11-minute video I'll send out there to you, man. It takes a minute to watch it. The beginning is kind of him showing how he came up with these areas. He's showing us that it's not just something he's pulling out of, oh, I can make a face on the moon, or I can make a rabbit on the moon. He shows how map projections work, how boundary areas work, how different warpings occur of countries and boundary areas when you do these projections. And so, yeah, he really did some heavy duty work. We had him on. He's going to show us some stuff when he gets it ready on his next outing of what he discovered in the electromagnetic realm, looking at this idea, and also the fact that this idea seems to be fragile in nature. And I'm like, yeah, dude, you really intrigued me now. So we'll hopefully have him come pretty soon.
I would like to hear a lot more about that, because every single explanation that I've ever heard in regards to the moon being a reflection of flat Earth, it doesn't make sense to me, because there's over 9,000 craters, recognized craters, on the face of the moon for what we can see. So if you're going to just pick out certain craters, it's just oh, there it is.
Well, again, I think that's the issue that a lot of people keep having, that really apparently haven't watched the first 11 minutes of that video and watched the process, which he thoroughly went through live on our show, showing exactly that that's not what he's doing. He isn't just picking and choosing areas and going, okay, this looks like it, I'm going to use it. This looks like it, I'm going to use that. That's exactly what he's not doing. And that's the part that's kind of frustrating me over and over and over, to keep hearing people say that. I guess watch that video a few more times, and he will show you exactly why he's not picking and choosing areas. He is exactly using a contrast that brings those areas up, and then accounting for them with relief maps. It's pretty, mind-blowing.
Laddie, send me a link to the video. I'll watch it during the break.
I imagine we could dig something up.
Yeah, I've really, in the whole Pepsi sine wave, magnetic, polarization, which is affecting how we, or however, it definitely raised my eyebrows, for sure. Definitely
that last shot of the CRT with the magnet doing it, I wanted to get into that so much when he was here.
But yeah, I've seen that so many times, I mean, I'm looking at the CRT right now that me and Cammie do it on. And yeah, it definitely does make that weird, where it like turns it a little bit, and could definitely have distorted. I don't know. I was talking with Cammie's brother yesterday about some of the lessons I've learned living in this awesome place. And one of them is, we don't get to know everything. We just don't. It doesn't matter how long you sit there and stare and take notes and collect data. There's some things in this place we don't get to know. Deal with it. Just like in
totally agree.
real life.
We are not allowed to.
Right. There's some things I don't think we'll ever understand. That was really brought to my mind yesterday when, here's something new that's kind of been going on. I don't really know how long it's been going on. It only came up in our chat sometime last week, and was pointed out at that point for me. And I don't sit and watch YouTube as many hours as I used to in the early days when I wasn't making 3 shows a week. So I definitely play catch up a lot. But it was pointed out, like I said, the idea of the Earth moving up, causing gravity, is now suddenly becoming a big thing in actual flat Earth communities, not just in the flat Earth society, psyop, mind control bullshit, but people that apparently have been, having some weight in their thought processes about what the Earth might be, are now suddenly saying that they believe the Earth is moving upward. I couldn't believe that. I couldn't see any proof of that. It doesn't seem that way in anything I've looked at, thought through, experimented with, or tested, or whatever. Seen other people test, talked to other people about. Zack with his pressure testings.
it's accelerating upwards, Walter. Not just moving upwards, but constantly accelerating, never ending, always in acceleration. That's the part that's like, I don't know. Oh, okay.
Yeah, again, it's become apparently such a thing that yesterday I noticed that Eric DeBay, who I, again, haven't watched in probably 5 years, had put out a little short enough video for me to click on it about this topic and how that even he is astounded a bit by this in the movement, the fact that it has to account for so many things for that to even work, like this infinite area that the Earth could then rise into, and just all this stuff that you have to twist your mind into make that work. You're back to putting, curd water on a spinning space ball at that point. To me, you're trying to make shit work. I don't know if you're having to make stuff fit. It's really then time to dismiss that for me. So, and I'm probably wrong, but that's a new thing that kind of blew my mind. That's even become a discussion. She agrees, she said, huh, sweetie?
Yeah, but I mean, you're going to have this. It's, when there's so many unknowns out there, and yeah, more testing, folks. That's all I can say. Test, collect data, and there's still a lot of things. There's a lot of talk about magnetic declination not being real and our magnetic field maps not being accurate and this and that. If that's the case, then, that would change the structure dramatically on how a magnetic field looks. Determined, the magnetic field is determined by how the magnets or the magnet is orientated. And we can recreate all this stuff, but if the data isn't accurate, then we're recreating Narnia. So we really need data. Data. Well, what we really need is what we're doing. Waking up at least one more person every day. That's where we're at right now. Until the 100th monkey drops and they can no longer just hand wave dismiss us with NASA, then this is going to keep going on until we have, people, everybody wanting to know what the truth is. Then it's going to be hard to do, because it takes a lot of money and resources to travel all over the earth and grab all these different readings and yada, yada, yada. It's not easy. This place is big. It's really, really, really big. Like big enough that one person can't see everything. It's not like an amusement park where you can go on every ride, in a few days. The real huge ones. No, it's not like that. You could travel from the day you're conceived and not see everything. It's that big. So it's going to take a lot of people with the same goal in mind, the truth and real data and real, until then, we're speculating, and it's good. It gets people thinking and minds rolling.
What do you guys think about the 7,000 new islands that were discovered in off the coast of Japan?
Did you say 7,000?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, that's
Have
pretty
you guys heard
wild.
about that?
I didn't know there was that many.
Yeah, I missed it. No, I missed that one. You have a link there, good friend?
I don't at the moment, but I can find one. I've heard a lot of people talking about it with different news articles and stuff like that. But yeah, if there's more land, obviously that land is more precious than anything that exists right now, any other land, because it's uninhabited and there's possible resources that don't exist where we are. And I know a lot of people like to subscribe to the outer lands part, and I also do as well. I'm more of a puddle theorist. Can't prove it. Multiple puddle or infinite puddles, each with their own solar system and sun and moon and stuff. And they're so far away we can't even see them.
Which would account for the second sun, I suppose.
Yeah, the second sun thing is pretty trippy.
Well, we're real close
Yeah.
here, fellas. Real damn close. I can't necessarily account for the exact timing of the break music at this point.
No.
But it
It's a
should
guess.
be.
Kind of
Coriolis
like all these
throwing
things
everything.
we're talking about. Right. Exactly. Coriolis every time.
But I suspect it'll be coming along here any minute. But this has been a great show so far. I'm really glad you guys decided to hop in. It's so good to hear from you, Uncle Leleco. It's been way too long.
Yeah, it has. I'm glad to hear that everything's calming down a little bit and you're doing well. It really, because I was worried when he asked, how are things going? Like for that split second, I was like, oh man, please be good news. Please be good news.
All right. We got break music, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back for the fourth and final segment of the Ironworks right here on Truth Frequency Radio, TFRlive.com, right after these briefest of messages.
Buy this car, you'll get girls. Buy this bra, you'll get guys. And we're seeing it so much that we start believing these lies. But the truth is, the makeup they're selling to make you feel prettier is the same makeup you buy to stop feeling shittier about this lie they keep telling you that you are not enough. And what about the movies we watch, all the shows on TV? The more I watch, the more I see I need you to complete me. And yes, love is the answer, love is the key, but if you can't love yourself, how could you ever love me? And loving yourself, what does that even mean? Like massages and selfies and that sort of thing? Because the more I think about it, the more it feels weird. I've always been taught that self-love was something to be feared. I've been taught that arrogance is bad and vanity, it's not good. And even my bracelets are telling me to act how Jesus would. So what should I do?
The reviews for Extendivite are amazing. Here are some from Amazon. By Christine, great for heart palpitations. By Anne, before I started using this product, every afternoon, my ankles and my hands would be swollen. That doesn't happen anymore. So if that part of their advertising is true, I have to assume that the rest of it is also. Not to mention that when I had my yearly blood test, only a few weeks after beginning to use this product, my cholesterol had dropped over 30 points. I'm going to continue to take it. By Croc, I love this product. It really works. By Brad, works great, thank you. Tell us your story. Get your Extendivite today. To order, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822 or visit heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
For millennia, mankind has been searching for answers to the big questions, such as, where did the universe come from? Where did we come from? Why are we here? Are we alone? And just what the heck is the Sasquatch all about? I can't promise you answers, and neither can the Woo Crew, but they invite you to join them Friday night at 7 p.m. Eastern, midnight in the UK, Freaky Friday, exclusively on Truth Frequency Radio. Spirituality, multiverse, quantum mechanics, the occult, and so much conspiracy analysis that it will make your mind melt. Take my word for it. Freaky Friday. It's more than a show. It's a way of life. I'm Stephen Hawking, and I am proud to be a Wookiee.
Real people, real radio.
Initiating the truth frequency.
This is Truth Frequency Radio.
Wake up. Wake up.
Wakey, wakey. Welcome back to the fourth and final segment of the Ironworks, right here on Truth Frequency Radio, TFRlive.com. I thought I might as well, take my time through that one, given the speed with which I blew through it on the other side of the break. Welcome
Great
back.
job taking your time.
So here's a little guilty pleasure I found. I'd seen variations of this done throughout it, and I'm sure you've all probably seen at least videos scroll past on your feed. But I highly recommend watching it. So there's a website called Omegle, and I think there's like another version maybe called Ome TV, O-M-E, Ome TV. And it's basically just random people on their webcams, right? So, of course, there's lots of weirdos. But this particular... YouTube
Josh,
channel?
Jaren, Dave, and that really hot chick that was on TikTok, or the Flat Earth chick. What's her name? Rose or something like that. They went on live on Omegle. They did this like 3 streams in a row.
Yeah, there's definitely been some flat smacking having been done on there.
And they got kicked off.
I wonder if that was Omegle or if that was just like people reporting.
Why did they get kicked off?
I think there's something to do with not the topic, but it was about live streaming your screen while Omegle is also live. I guess
I was gonna say it better not be the topic, because
having
young
seen
people should not go scrolling through Omegle. I'll just say that.
Well, having watched a few of the videos to which I'm referring, I can't believe that's even an issue, because there's lots of people that are doing this. It's the polyglots. This is what has just absolutely blown my mind and puts just a huge smile on my face. These are my now feel-good videos. These are my guilty pleasures. It's these guys that speak like 9 or 10 languages, right? And they just get on there and they're just randomly scrolling for people across the entire plane, and are just able to communicate with them. But watching these people react to hearing their native language, fucking amazing. I just love the responses and the reactions to hearing these polyglots just start rattling off French and then to German and then to Arabic, and just having them switch back and forth and watching these faces. And there are so many people out there that speak like multiple languages. It just boggles my mind when I struggle so desperately with English, the one and only language with which I speak, and I can barely do it. But I highly recommend watching it. There's several good channels out there. Just go to YouTube, search Polyglot, and see what comes up. There's some really good of those Ome TV, Omegle videos out there of people just talking. I mean, it's really just like, it's one thing to get on there and practice English, and then they start switching and going to all these different languages, and just the conversations. Just some really, really amazing people out there. And it's just really cool to get a chance to just kind of get a little snapshot of what it is they're doing and their life. And I dig it. Yeah. DITRH in chat said he's addicted to Harry Mack, who was doing freestyle raps. And that was pretty cool too. There's lots of people that'll really surprise the whole, I'm non-suspecting and then surprised, here's this thing that I do, whether it's speak multiple languages or spit freestyle off the top or whatever it is. It's a crazy, crazy stuff out there. So yeah, that's what I've been spending a lot of time doing, is watching polyglots. Fun stuff. With jealousy. Green Eyes, which I'm watching.
Well, you were asking me if I had any resources for the 7,000 new islands, and I have lots of resources for it now. I mean, it's if you just type in 7,000 new islands discovered, yeah, it just comes up on like every single mainstream media and archaeologist, and yeah, it's.
Yeah, I googled that, and I saw some of the islands, well, a picture of what looks like the islands, But how do they not know those islands were there?
That's the biggest
If there's
question of
so
all, I
many
think.
of them. I mean, people fly over Japan. Surely somebody has seen it.
Yeah. What are the chances that these are 7,000 undiscovered islands versus just space lettuce? We're just saying shit. Right? That's a pretty big archipelago to just completely go unnoticed for what? Throughout the history of modern man? Great.
So when the States were bombing Japan, they didn't see these islands?
Nope. And if we did, we just bothered never to tell anybody else. We didn't inhabit them. We didn't put bases on them. We saw them, realized nobody else knew they were there. So it would be just a good idea to keep them a secret and pretend that they don't exist. That seems real logical. That's a real U.S. mentality, he says sarcastically.
You guys want a little bit of space lettuce? I got something to share.
Oh, man, do I?
This is kind of new.
Let's look at space lettuce. Let's look at space lettuce. Let's look at space lettuce and have our shelves are left.
All right.
All right. I love hearing that. So there's a new company, apparently, a new startup in California, where I live, Vast Space, to launch first private station on SpaceX rocket in 2025. The first ever private space station could launch to Earth orbit in a little over 2 years from now. California-based startup Vast Space plans to loft its Haven 1 outpost aboard SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket no earlier than August 2025. The company's announced today, which was 2 days ago, May 10th. The initial mission will be followed in quick succession by
Andrew.
What's that?
Notice the wording, no earlier than. It's not no later than.
I have a better chance of Scarlett Johansson giving me a lap dance and that shit happening.
Okay, sorry about that.
California startups known for their success.
Yeah, Silicon Valley has had like 90% of the startups fail.
Yep.
And I know that. I live and work in Silicon Valley.
Then how many of those were actually space-based companies where they accomplished fuck all? Pardon my language.
0.
I almost got a job for Lockheed Martin, actually. I'm glad I didn't. Otherwise, I'd still be a Globie, probably. But yeah, anyways, it's just interesting that they're still providing this information like, oh yeah, there's another company that's going to lie to everyone and steal your money. It's like people that figured out, oh, I can sell like real estate on the moon. Or, oh yeah, give me $1 million and you get to buy your own artificial intelligence virtual reality like realm.
Now, is there going to be any tax money going towards this? Because they say SpaceX is private, blah, 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 but they get like over $400 million a year of government tax money.
Yeah, they could probably get like a government
not
grant
really
or something.
Private. See, that's the thing that drives me nuts. If people want to throw their money at whatever they want to, that's fine. But when you start taking it out of tax dollars to fund all these different boondoggles, or $2 million to study the dung beetles' mating habits on cocaine, who cares? I mean, really? Do we have to worry about dung beetles on coke going crazy and over multiplying? I doubt it.
You have Cocaine Bear, right, Zack?
That was a funny movie. That was a pretty funny movie.
Just the question, guys. If AI becomes sentient, does that mean we have to give it rights, like basic human rights, even if it's not really human?
There's people already all over this, man. I've seen a few things go by that, yeah, there's people already like becoming, advocates for them and their rights and their whatever. And I'm like, wait, do you guys not remember the 3 laws of robotics? It's about our rights, not theirs.
Yeah, you know what you feed a 400-pound canary? Whatever the fuck it wants.
I have to clear this up a little bit more too, because a lot of people are unfamiliar with what artificial intelligence really is. There's 3 different types. There's AI, which is like motor controls, like when you pull up to a traffic light. That's artificial intelligence, right? It's artificial. It's not real intelligence, it's just artificial. It has a sequence of steps to go through in order to have a certain type of outcome based on certain types of circumstances. Then you have artificial general intelligence. That's sort of like where we're at right now. That is where like ChatGPT is able to make its own decisions and create things based on information that is put into it. And it can also learn and change its mind. Then there's artificial superintelligence, which we are not even close to. That's where intelligence, a computer becomes self-aware, and you can't control it anymore unless it wants you to control it. I'm just being clear on that.
And how far do you think we are from achieving something like that?
Ben Goertzel and Ray Kurzweil say it's about 2045 when they think that's going to happen. But I think they're way off still. Yeah, okay, so I guess you guys went kind of dead for a moment there. Yeah, Ben Kurzweil, Ben Goertzel, and Ray Kurzweil. They are like 2 of the most world-leading experts when it comes to artificial intelligence and the implementation of it.
Ray Kurzweil was the head of Google's research and development. If that gives you,
I think he still works there.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, I live about 15 minutes from the Google headquarters in Mountain View. And I'll tell you what, I fucking hate Google. As soon as I get off work, nope, everyone from Google fucking leaves all at the same time and just clogs up the fucking freeways and no one has to drive. Fucking idiots.
Dude, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I remember about a year or 2 years ago, watching or reading something about these, because they made AI. I don't know if it was at Google, and they programmed like a simple language into it, where these 2 AI would communicate with each other. And if I remembered correctly, they went to lunch or something, and they let them communicate. And by the time that they got back, they had made up their own language that the 2 AIs could understand, but the scientists who were watching this whole thing couldn't figure out anything.
Yeah, I think it's called Google DeepMind, that they bought for like $3 billion off 2 software developers from England. And then they just took it and manipulated it a little bit. And they taught it how to play chess. And it's currently the top chess engine in existence.
I know the one you're thinking of, Duma. It was the Facebook Marketplace bots. And I guess Facebook had like hooked up the AI, and they were creating a shorthand language to be able to more effectively and quickly communicate sort of between the 2. That's all it was. They just wanted to see if they could. And they did. I know that the press and the media sort of picked it up and ran with it, and it was these 2 AI chatbots that got out of control, and that the researchers had to shut the whole project down before it got out of hand. And it was really more like, we're going to see if this works. It did. Okay, great. And now we're done. And that's the end of the. And that was
having 2 pieces of computer software that have certain codes written into them, and then having them talk to each other back and forth, and then create a new language that we don't understand, is actually doesn't sound too difficult, as long as the flowchart is designed properly.
Mm-hmm. That's what I thought too. That's why I was surprised that that was such a thing, that the press outlets were actually trying to make a story out of this non-starter, which was freaking nothing. We tried it and it worked. The end. Right? There was no emergency pulling of the plug or anything like that. Once it was over, they stopped it.
Yeah, the problem I'm having with AI nowadays is it's so easy to manipulate. I'm not sure if you guys saw that, but Jaren did a 12-hour stream, like his longest one yet, like a month and a half, 2 months ago. And he was just manipulating the sound effects and the voices of a spacewalk with the commentators and the people that were out in the alleged space. And he took like 12 hours to make about a 20-minute video. But you can also take those same exact videos and then also overlay people's faces onto other people's faces. So we don't even know if we're watching live television anymore.
Everything's just getting worse.
Yeah, it's gotten pretty fucking spooky.
Oh well, let's skip the AI thing. I'm getting depressed. Let's go back to the second sun.
The sun?
Yeah, let's go back to the second sun. I still find it so intriguing, and I was hoping that people like. Oh, by the way, where is Crow 777?
I actually haven't been keeping up here of late. It's been a minute. Again, dude, we doing 3 shows a week here, and all that entails. It's sometimes hard to keep up with other people. Somebody sends me a link and I'm there, but otherwise I'm usually going, oh, that was yesterday. Oh, damn, I forget that was live. Oh, I do make it to a few chats here and there. You guys do see me when I find, the notification has actually worked. But yeah, I haven't. It's been too long, actually. So
Yeah, I'm only asking because the first time I saw that second sun thing was through that movie, Shoot the Moon. And I was hoping that they would have done more research on it and try to theorize exactly what it is, because I find it very interesting.
Yeah,
and
I don't remember exactly which channel it was on, but I know that Crow and Jason, from Crow 777, were both analyzing this in very great detail, because I think that Crow was the one that took the videos of it. And it might have been on Globebusters where they talked about this, or maybe their own channel, but they were actually showing video. And yeah, it's really hard to argue with. But then again, it's also not necessarily something everyone has done that is repeatable.
Right. Well, Chris Van Matra had done it in one part of the country. How many different places had he caught it, Zach? 2 different places, right, before he and Crow hooked up on our show? Uh-oh, did we lose Zach?
We may.
Oh, I'm here. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
That's all good. So how many different places had Chris recorded a second son before we got him with Crow, who had also recorded one?
3, I believe. Denver, South Carolina, and Texas. And then Crow caught it up in Maine, I believe.
Yeah, it was a really good show when they got together and on here, or on Havnosphere. Or hell, was that still when it was the French cast? It could have been.
Liz says Crow had spoken about buying new equipment to do more observations.
So do you guys
reach
remember?
out to Chris as well there, Zach, now that I'm writing it actually over here on the side, but you have more access, I think, than I would.
Really. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I'm moving around. We're going rock hunting today with Karen B to a emerald mine, and we got to get going early. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. So I'm letting the boys out, and I just woke Cammy up, and
oh, that's fine. I didn't realize I wouldn't call on you so much. Just like I said, I know you and Chris are close and have talked more than I have with him. But yeah, it was great when he was on.
Get that set up for sure. I know there was someone else wanting to speak to Chris about his surveying expertise.
Yeah.
That I'm going to hook up with. Yeah.
Did you guys hear the Troubling Tribune debate where the surveyor came on and then had to basically submit and back off his arguments? He was a Globie.
I didn't hear it, but I heard about it. Yeah. Awesome. Well done. Yeah, he's actually the person I'm going to get connected with, Chris.
before we run out of time, where do you send somebody new to Flat Earth? I mean, it's obviously not going to be YouTube now, but is
Well,
there a
Flat Earth, Sun,
actually,
Moon,
that
and
would be to
Zodiac
the
clock app.
Flat Earth, Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock Out by Blue Water Bay. Oh, I'm sorry, Zach. I'm getting all your money now. Damn it. No, man. You can't not
That
send
was
them to the
perfect.
app. It's really hard not to because they are hiding stuff even worse now. Stuff I knew I had bookmarked. All I used to have to do was type in the few words of it and it would come up on every device I own has stopped working. I had to dig hard for the Jack London thing to share a couple of shows ago. None of the keywords even work in my personally bookmarked crap that I have synced up across all my devices. So yeah, it's almost impossible to send anybody anything without having access to the curation of the app, that has all the places to go, all the people's info and content. Yeah, it's great.
You can spend 3 months researching it yourself, or you could spend 3 hours on Dave's app and find better content that is pointed towards, hey, this is how this works, instead of, going to page 10 before you find a pro flat earth video, because there's so much, you're going to get negative. If you ask, the earth is flat, you're going to get 100 responses of why the earth isn't flat first. So the app takes all that out of there. It's great.
And the really cool thing about the app is that it's not just Dave doing that. He's taking information that he found from all sorts of people, and he's incorporating it into the app for everyone to see. So it's a team effort, but he's definitely taken the charge on how to do it. And that, God, it's a full-time job. I swear to.
Hey, Josh.
Hey.
Can I get a goat scream?
You beat me to it.
That's for you, Lucas.
There you
Love
go,
brother.
and Lucas there. Shout out, brother. What was the other thing in chat I needed to share? Oh, happy Corporation Formation Day tomorrow there, Daz. I saw that in chat earlier and then got sidetracked when Lucas showed up, and I got wrapped up in it. So, yeah, man, definitely enjoy. And I can't wait to see the picture of your mural that you promised us there. So.
Yeah, he's got.
And you guys, if you didn't know, it's Mother's Day this weekend, and it's sappy, I know, and it's a greeting card thing, and you definitely should be doing that every day of the year, not just on the day that Hallmark decided you should. But since Mom is probably a little more of a generation who would expect that, it would sure make her heart feel good for you to make that phone call or send those flowers or go have that afternoon lunch or that evening supper or whatever you can do. Just putting out there from someone who can't have those experiences any longer. So enjoy it while you can. It will definitely be missed when she isn't here.
Absolutely. Shout out to all the mothers out there.
Joe Mama on chat just reminded me of that website, Stop, Look, and Think. And I think
absolutely
it is
great. Absolutely great one.
Best place to send somebody who's new.
Yep. Be careful.
Yeah, it's really weird. I found that website before I even knew who Dave was. And I binge watched like everything on there for a long time. So it did help me out as well.
I can't remember the site. I'm going to find it, and I'll show you guys this afternoon right before we start talking with Mike, because there's some little shenanigans I've noticed and have kind of debunked on my own time here, and I want to share that with you guys. I'll find the site, I'll find the photograph or alleged photograph to show you guys what's going on right now. I expected this already a long time ago and can't believe it hasn't happened before now, but it seems now the time has come for a lot of influx of fake, hidden, secret-y stuff. So we'll talk about it later, though, this afternoon, because we are eminently hitting the wall. Guys, thank you. I love y'all. Appreciate it. Always, Andrew. And Nuka, don't make it so long, man. If you want to come hang out, you know where we live. Miss you and love you, friend.
For real.
Love you guys too. And Thanks for having me on. And don't forget to send that 11-minute video of the moon map, I think you said.
I'm on it right now, my friend. I'll send it to you on Skype.
Awesome. Thanks for having me, guys. It's been fun.
Anytime.
Love y'all.
We were just discussing you and talking about you the other day. So good to see you pop in. Yeah, I think that's going to be real close to it. I don't know exactly how close. Pretty dang close. How's that for close? That's it, ladies and gentlemen. We will see you back here on Tuesday morning for more of the Ironworks, kicking off at 4 a.m. Central to 6 a.m. And we will be back this evening on Have No Sphere. Stellium 7, Mike returns. Always time for a good conversation. Be sure you join us. Until then, be good, be well. We love you. Bye-bye. You know what? I think I'm going to play Angela's video while I'm still live.
Yeah, do that. That was awesome, man. That made me smile from ear to ear to see.
At this one, it's like